Hey, local swell trackers, it's the 12th of March, and you see this low pressure right here under the Aleutians. That low pressure is bombing, meaning that there's a radical drop in the center of the low pressure, and that puppy is going to be pulling in some high winds and large seas, and it actually has a track fairly near to us. Some of the fetch we'll be getting within 1,000 miles of us, bringing in some 15, possible 18-foot waves on Tuesday. And then it'll be a long-lasting puppy and send big waves off to the northwest Pacific coast and slowly decline for us. Then, as time goes on, we get another fatty way up here further to the west with not as good of a track and not as powerful as a low pressure, but still enough to pull in another easy advisory level swell. And in the long haul here, you can see too, we'll have a lot of wind swell off to our east and south of us. And California will be going off with some winter pattern too. So we'll go ahead and let the animation from Storm Surf loop, and you can see that we will be definitely rocking and rolling. The high pressure is going to give us a little bit of a break between these two big storms you see on your screen, but not before we wax up the guns. Here's what that guy looks like as he hits us with some 18-second forerunners, and wow, incredible to see this at this time of year. And here it is. So let's kick in. Right now we are looking at a slowly rising 4 to 6 foot west-northwest for Sunday, and hitting us right here Sunday on the loops. This is from the Wave Watch 3. There's a little bit of support here for Monday, 6 to 8, maybe 10, and then the really big one right here on Tuesday. And then as time goes on, you can see a lot of blues out there with the high pressure establishing strong trades, higher pressure gradient over the islands, increased trade winds and trade wind swell, and then that last swell tries to send off some swell period for us for the next weekend. Let's take a look down under. No longer on the charts. Well, this guy over here sent us off some waves for this coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Should be at least 2 to 3 feet or head high, probably a foot overhead. We are looking at the next swell to be coming in the next weekend from this guy right here, with a favorable track too. The fetch does move up towards the equator, which we love those. Then it goes rather zonal. We don't see much after that, but it definitely signs of the new season. We'll kick in and let the animations roll through the loops, the 7-day loops, one more time. So that guy will be bringing us in some waves for not this weekend, but next weekend after Wednesday's swell. Taking a look at the swell periods. Here she comes. Right as she leaves the screen, we pretty much get hit by her. We're at 20 degrees north of the equator, and there she comes. Obviously, getting overshadowed by that giant swell coming down from the North Pac. But plenty of energy you can see emanating up from the South Pacific region. Here we go. That jet stream right now fairly consolidated. Out way past us to our east. It breaks up right here, and then that jet consolidates again and heads up into the Gulf of Alaska, and should be continuing to bring in some winter caliber size. This jet stream looking really good for this time of year. It does split for only a short while before coming together again. Down under, you can see an overall very zonal flow. We like to see the jet point up with a meridional or equatorial bound flow. We don't see a whole lot of that, but hey, we're getting a couple south swells. And next week, starting Wednesday, we'll take it. As far as the surface charts, you can see there is the low pressure pushing a ridge just to our north, lightening the trade winds. This high pressure far off to our east. And again, the low pressure storms from being steered in from the jet stream are definitely lightening up the trades, especially by Sunday, Monday. But the high pressure will firmly establish. You can see the high pressure starting to come in from over here, moving east. And we'll replace these low pressures you see in the center of your screen to our north, and change up the overall weather and wind patterns middle of next week. The upper regions are showing it's very stable. We're very dry. The drier sinking air is in brown, and the wetter air, stormier area is obviously spinning out counterclockwise in the upper regions in blue, and those are what we like to see because those are sending us our waves. Highs are going to be about 75 to 80. Lows are going to be about lower 60s to about 70. And all in all, it's really dry and beautiful. Just occasional moisture embedded in the upstream trade wind flows. And next week we'll see some showers being pushed over by the higher trades over to the leeward coast, but for right now they'll be overall confined to the windward areas. As you can see right now, definitely paradise. And that's your update. We'll be back next weekend with your local swell tracker.